Okay, I keep recording this and deleting it, and I think I'm just going to get right into it. I want this to make sense, and I want it to be not freaking 20 minutes long. So basically, my name is Jordan. I'm 20 years old. Last year, I swore into the Navy, then I quit. This year, I'm dropping out of CLC and I'm going back into the Navy. I know it sounds so stupid from an outsider's perspective, or you dropped out and now you're back in. Like, are you just gonna drop out again? And like, what's the difference this time? Oh, like, why did you have to wait a year? I'm just gonna start off with why I dropped out in the first place, like why I quit and when I quit. I was enrolled in the DEP program. I went to MEPS. I swore in at MEPS. I went to all the meetings. I got the t-shirts and water bottles and everything. I was ready to do it. I was down for it. Anytime someone told me I couldn't do it, I was very, very angry. I remember one time I was at this person's house and I said something. It was like when I first brought it up to them, and they were kind of like, oh, you're gonna do that? Like, what? And I remember them being very confused, and I took that for some reason so offensive, and I got up and I just bolted out the door and I left, and they were very confused as to why I was mad, but it was just something I was very, very sensitive to begin with. It was just, I want to do this, and I'm demanding support for it type deal. And because I don't want to admit it, but I very much do care what people think, and I do care when I look a certain type of way to people. So when I first started out with everything, I was very gung-ho about it. I was just letting a lot of people know right off the bat, which was my first mistake, because again, I really do care what people think about me. So I don't want to admit it, but I mean, at least for me, I feel like it's very common too for other people. When you're debating going into the Navy, one of your first thoughts is, okay, can I do this? And I never thought about that physically. Like, I knew I could do it physically. It was more so the idea of them breaking down people to build them back up into soldiers, I don't know, I keep saying soldier, I'm sorry. From civilian to sailor, I've always been really apprehensive about it, like the mental part. Had that little insecurity this entire time. It was just me not being able to make decisions for myself. Like, I was very apprehensive and sad about it, and I was scared of everything. Just so many different aspects, and it was hard for me to tell, like, is this what I'm meant to do? Like, is this what I'm supposed to do? I don't know, because I was getting so many mixed vibes from myself. I was just scared of so many factors, and the biggest thing I was thinking is, if I was meant to do this, if God wanted me to do this, he would have put so many more signs into my life. He would have made me excited about it. He would have made other people excited about it. Like, I couldn't make a decision. So then I chickened out. That's another video on how I chickened out. I could do that if you want, but I ended up chickening out, and it was a very long and hard process of chickening out. It was just very, very difficult, very dark time. Because at this point, everyone knew, and it was very hard for me to be like, oh, I'm not doing it anymore. It was just very awkward, and I felt very shameful of it. Like, I'm a coward. I felt like the biggest coward. People kind of didn't react in the way I was expecting to, in the way that I wanted them to compensate for me because I was feeling a certain type of way, you know? That kind of did the opposite of putting me at ease. Like, I was even more so insecure than I had already started off with. And I don't want to say it's because of what people thought about me, because again, there's so many different reasons, and I probably won't even touch on all of them, but I just felt like this uneasy feeling inside of me. The pit in your stomach before a really big drop on a roller coaster. I was feeling that for days. Every day I would wake up, I would just be like, oh, I have this sense of dread in me. And I stopped talking about it. I stopped getting excited about it. I went on vacation with my family, and anytime they brought it up, I was in tears. I was very just closed off at that point. It was very hard for me to like kind of turn my insecurity into positivity at this point, because I had let it fester for so long without addressing it myself. I just kind of like let it sit, which was the worst thing I could have done. Like I just kept it very, very secret. And again, I'm not blaming it on anyone else. I mean, at the end of the day, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake by not following through. Doing the Navy not only makes my future so much better and brighter, like I'm literally studying to have my associates in art, and I'm not knocking that. I think people do amazing things with that degree. I'm not knocking that. Like, just don't think it that way, please. But I just think right now I realize I was meant to do this, and I was meant to follow through with it, because it's been over a year since my time at MEPS, and I'm still thinking about it. I still feel upset about it, and I almost feel like this weird sense of regret. And it's been a year, so it feels like a long time, but already feeling regret towards a decision I made literally a year ago. I don't want to be like 40 and looking back at my life and thinking, wow, I really should have just done it. I really should have just sucked it up and followed through. And it's not even for the benefits anymore. I want to travel, and I want to have that lifestyle, and I just want to be surrounded by other people going through the same thing and like forming this bond and like this brother sisterhood. And I know it probably looks really, really, really silly going back on my decision that I went back on again. I waited not a long time, but I waited a while to tell people again, just because I liked having this little secret, something I was excited for. And I didn't even tell my parents until recently. Like this was just very much on my own little thing I could enjoy and I could look forward to. And I'm so excited that my recruiters are not holding it against me. They say this happens all the time, but I've never really seen anyone talk about it. I tried looking up YouTube videos and stuff, and there's nothing on it. So I'm hoping, like, even if just one kid like stumbles upon this video, they're like, oh, like someone else was an idiot and someone else made a mistake and they went back on it and now they're in the Navy. Because I thought that going back on my decision would be like a death sentence. Like I thought I would never get that opportunity again. I thought I would be blacklisted from doing the military, like not even just the Navy, but just the military in general. And figuring out that I could do it was such a relief. And I can't even tell you how much better my life has gotten just recently, like feeling like motivated, feeling like my life has a purpose again, because I just felt I was going day by day by day. When I was in college, I wasn't really striving towards anything. I was walking out with a degree that was cool, but I wasn't going to be proud of it. I'm excited, which is really weird. I'm really excited to start. I have a lot of things I have to work on before I go to boot camp, but I'm just excited that, you know, it wasn't really held against me that I dropped out the first time. And I think I will forever be embarrassed. I will always be embarrassed for dropping out the first time, for not putting myself first, and for putting myself down to begin with, because I mean, I know it's going to be really, really difficult, but I know mentally I can take it, and I know mentally it's going to make me such a better, stronger version of Jordan. And I'm so excited, and I am apprehensive still, like don't get me wrong, but whereas before I felt 50 apprehension and 50% excitement, now I just feel 10% apprehension, 90% excitement. And I feel like as long as I put my ducks in a row and I work really hard and I like study all the DEP program stuff and I start working out, which like I don't need to work out, but like I'm gonna start working out regardless, just because it makes you a better person. But once I start that, and then once I learn how to swim, that was one of my biggest like insecurities, dropping out too, as well as I didn't know how to swim. But now I'm getting, what's it called when you learn how to swim? What are those things called? Classes. I'm setting up classes with an instructor, like private one-on-one type stuff. This time I'm ready to take it serious. I'm ready to put my all into it. I'm ready to focus, get like that tunnel vision and get prepared. My number one thing was I didn't want to do the Navy just because of the benefits. that felt like such, for me, like I know for other people, if they want to do it that way, that's fine. But for me, I wanted to be wholeheartedly into the Navy. I wanted it to be because I wanted to do the Navy. I wanted that uniform. Like I wanted this and that and that and that. And now this time around, all I can think of is like, wow, I want that. Like when I see posts, it's like I envision myself in that uniform. And there are two very, very special people that have helped me out. And I'm not going to name them because I don't know if they want to be named or not, but they are in the Navy. And I just appreciate them so much. They really helped me through everything. They showed me that so many people feel this exact way. Like I can do this. And they're not just saying that, like they're not paid to say that. Like these are my friends and they know I can handle it. If anything, if no one else believes in me, at least I have these two people. I was in my DEP program for like a short amount of time. I met her like once in person, but she was so kind. Like she was one of the first people when I was like trying to drop out of the Navy. She was just there and she was like, I really don't think you should drop, like this and this and this is why, like I'm excited, like you can get excited, other stuff. So for like a year I've known like this girl was probably right. And so when I reached out and I was like, hey, hi, like I'm back, she was not at all judgmental, and it was just such a breath of fresh air. So I owe a lot to those two people. I don't even want to get into the second person because it would just completely give away who they are, but I'm just so thankful for that other person as well. And I'm just excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like I had the option to finish up. This would be my last semester this spring. 2019, I was supposed to graduate and get my degree, and I don't even want to wait that long. Like I'm not going back because I want to leave as soon as possible. Like I want to get this going. Like I want to go. Once I have all my surgeries done and everything like that, all my health taken care of, my swimming lessons done, like oh, so like once I line everything up and I'm ready, like I want to go. Like I don't want to wait. I don't want to, because last time when I first swore in, it was a long time. It was like I swore in July 2017, and then I was supposed to leave for boot camp February 2018. That's 7 months. That was 7 months of me not knowing what the hell I was doing. 7 months of me being embarrassed, not trusting myself. I'm confident in my decision, and I'm so excited that, you know, like the main people that matter to me, that have my back, they do. Like my parents are so supportive again. Like my siblings, none of them had any judgment. My close friends, nothing. Like they were all just so kind and so warm to me, and it was like I was worrying for nothing. I was so scared telling people I was going to finish the Navy, within the Navy, and I was so scared people were going to be like, oh, like psych ass. Like I thought people were going to not believe me. And I feel like every person has seen this determination that I have, and they've seen that I really want to do this, and I feel like in return, I mean, I don't want to speak for any people, but I feel like this time around it is so different, not only to me, but I feel like for the people around me that know, because I haven't told like anyone yet. I haven't even told like my relatives, so surprise. I feel like keeping this close and waiting till I was sure I wanted to do this was the best option for me, because sharing this with other people, you're always going to get mixed reviews. Like I guarantee someone out there, after they find out I'm doing it again, they're probably going to think I'm stupid. They're probably going to think I'm going to drop out again. But at the end of the day, the only person that knows your capacity for anything is you. And I feel like I have gotten to know myself so much in this past year alone. I know I can finish this off. Like I can do this, and I can be like damn good at it, not gonna lie. So I'm so excited. And I really didn't want to keep this a secret, and I really wanted to tell people. And it's been a while of me like holding this in. Like it's been months like of me just holding this in, and I'm so excited to finally be able to talk about it with like my friends and my family, and just I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. But yeah, I don't really have any new updates. It's very early on in everything. I don't even have a MEPS date yet. I don't even have an estimated boot camp. I just want to go as soon as possible. And the reason why I don't have everything set up yet, I don't have a date for MEPS yet, is because me and my recruiter were deciding whether or not I want to finish school or not. And I very recently like discovered that I don't want to finish school. I just want to do it. And as soon as I talked to my parents and I had that discussion about it and they were supportive, I'm ready to move forward with the recruiter and find out my MEPS date so I can find out my boot camp date, and then I'll update this and then probably make a video about everything I went through. Or maybe I'll wait. I'll probably wait because I went through MEPS once and now I'll have to do it again because I'm swearing back into it. So I kind of want to wait and like make a video on that. And then I also, maybe tying into that video, I'll describe what it was like coming back into the debt program and what I had to do and what I still have to do and like all the different requirements, like, because they want to make sure you don't quit again. So I'll add that into the video if anyone needs that. Which, I mean, when I looked at videos on this, there was nothing. Like, there wasn't really stuff telling you like, oh, I quit and now I'm back, because it's embarrassing and no one wants to admit it. But I feel like it's natural to second guess yourself and it's natural to not have confidence. But at the end of the day, you know, as corny as this sounds, like all you have is yourself, and you should be selfish. You should be making decisions based on your future and based on who you want to be and who you have the capacity to be. And I just know I have the capacity to be such a badass in the Navy, like be a badass sailor. I'm so excited. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, again, I'll be sure to post another video about like what's going on and like everything, because again, I feel like there's so many male sailor accounts about the Navy, and I feel like there's not enough females talking about what goes on in the Navy. So even like after boot camp and A school and stuff like that, I want to continue this. I want to talk about the Navy. I want to make it, you know, a less scary subject for certain people. So if you want to subscribe and see my journey, you can, and I'll figure out everything. I have a meeting with the recruiter tomorrow, and hopefully we find out my MEPS date, and hopefully we figure out a bunch of stuff, and hopefully no one thinks I'm that big of a dumbass because I kind of feel like one still, but it's all right. As long as I end up where I'm supposed to end up, that's all that really literally matters. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good night or a good day or a good evening, wherever you are. Goodbye.